I remember years ago you came to me with such enthusiasm and such excitement about the Thorn Tree Project, and you invited me to come and celebrate the effort to educate the Samburu children. And for me, I found it a fascinating story in that these are nomadic children that would not otherwise be able to be educated. And you and your big heart said, well, let's build housing for them. Let's feed them. Let's care for them. And it was so, it was something that just touched my heart. And then, I mean, the other story that just brings me to tears is your thought of introducing the Irish children to the Samburu children. For me, that was so moving to see children caring for children. But tell us a little bit about how that video came to be. And am I right? It made the top 10 in Ireland.
They made it in they made it in Ireland and in the Samburu. It's magic because, talk about peace, it's a way that children can communicate. Music is an extraordinary way for children to communicate.
Watch him leap into the air in celebration of the wonders that are all around him. See that girl dance over there.
It's a great, extraordinary way for adults to communicate. We don't use healing sound, but also letting out all the pent-up energy a child has into sound. To see that happen, bring peace that way. It's a nice way to bring peace.
Absolutely.
Singing
through self-expression.
Yes, exactly. And also acknowledgement. I feel a lot of what happens in schools is that children aren't acknowledged. They're treated as children. They're not children. They're just smaller people.
Yeah.
It's like there's such ageism now. No, there's something terrible about, I think, the way children are treated. That their little souls aren't acknowledged. I think listening brings peace, helps to bring peace. I think teaching a child too how to handle their immediate space, the space around them, to give them a space they can call their own, they can do something with, is great for education. One of the
Tell me what you mean by that.
I think that if a child can't have a room of their own, at least have a space of their own in the house that's theirs, that they can do what they like with it.
Yeah.
So they can explore. They can explore space.
Super.
Yeah.
And we did that for the Samburu as well.
We know what we did. Well, the Samburu we built the dorms.
Yes.
The girls' dorms, because they're possible nomads, as you know. So the students couldn't travel with the tribe. We sponsored the girls' dorm because that way they could take time to be educated and also communicate amongst themselves.
But what an experience to be separated from your life, your parents, your family at such a young age, and brought into a dormitory that they'd never experienced before, and have regular meals and have regular water and have the mentoring.
And education too is about teaching children not only about nutrition, but also how they can create their own nutrition. I was lucky enough to have a father who was constantly down in the garden growing something edible. No flowers, just things that were edible. Yes. And it was a very useful education. And there are the kids of the nomadic tribes should be taught how to plant and how to take care of food.
Interesting.
Because if you're hungry, you can't be educated. You can't educate a hungry child. Exactly. I mean, games are apparently, backgammon and stuff like that are fantastic brain games, brain agility games. No, they should be taught in schools. I remember reading, writing, and arithmetic. None of the lyricism of the poets. We had to find that out ourselves. But I think that as they say in education, if there's quiet rooms where children can think, but a nice, beautifully designed, simple, comfortable, quiet room, not much in it, just peace. And then have a noisy room where they can, if it's a bad day, they can go in and make a screaming noise and dance madly.
Yeah.
No, you don't see the schools around here, I don't think, teaching dancing. And dancing is such a release, such an immense release.
Completely.
It's body, mind, spirit, and addressing all the senses in the body, not just what's in between your ears. No.
Yes.
So that's the way I think education will improve. I even want to design prisons. No.
Yeah.
to educate the people in jails how to come out and when they get out, how to adapt. Well, anything that any of us can do to impact peace and teach peace and peace can be dancing madly in a room. Doesn't have to be just sitting in a cross-legged position meditating.
Absolutely.
Peace with others, I go to restaurants sometimes. I see somebody at the next door table getting their knickers in a twitch, as we say in Ireland, because the food wasn't quite right.
Oh.
And also finding a craft, and teaching the children a craft, teaching them ways they could earn money very early on.
Well, let's say the numbers. I saw 165 college graduates, Clodagh.
I know.
Extraordinary.
It is.
And not only that, but we've had thousands of children that have made it to, let's see, what is it? Just to high school, and then another multiple hundreds through high school, and then 165 all the way through college. I
was driving down, we're jeeping down from the Samburu Desert, and we stopped at a game camp for a lunch. And the reception woman, she said, "Where did you come from?" And I said, "We came from Seriolipi." I said, "You know the Samburu tribe up there?" She said, "I'm one of their graduates." Well, I tell you, if you saw somebody burst into tears and laughter.
Yeah. But it was interesting for me to hear about the surgeon, because she made it to high school, and then she didn't have the grades to make it to college by our scholarship program, and yet still she was determined to get that education, and she went to other nonprofits to ask to be educated. And I think that that's a powerful statement in itself. Communication is one of the greatest arts, good communication, one of the greatest arts you can teach a child. Absolutely. And, the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, the last one is collaboration. And I feel the first one, of course, is end poverty. And second, end hunger. But collaboration is something that, it's trusting. It's trusting that we are empowering children to find their path. Exactly. Exactly. It's and also to honor their thoughts, honor their own ideas. No, it's how we empower kids in schools to do that.